Sometimes Robert Saleh would just be better off shutting his mouth. Hey, what's going on? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Before we get started today, I just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Also, if you haven't already, check out the Just Jets podcast. New episodes drop every single Wednesday. Today, we are going to be talking about Robert Saleh and a quote that just really genuinely made me laugh. And it made me laugh because at this point, it's kind of just a little ridiculous. Some of the things that Saleh is saying. The game doesn't matter. So let's get into it. The Jets are starting Joe Flacco on Sunday, which isn't super surprising. And again, like I was saying earlier in the week, I didn't really care who the four quarterbacks, which one was going to start. Mike White, obviously not healthy enough. Didn't look healthy the last time out against Seattle. Zach Wilson is broken, shouldn't use him, so they're going to turn to Joe Flacco. And Chris Drevler's not serious. I understand that, but if Zach Wilson's broken, which I believe he is, then why have him as QB2 when you have multiple offensive linemen out, actually? I can't even guess what the offensive line is going to look like on Sunday. Not a clue. Herbig is going to be out. Dwayne Brown's going to be out. George Fant's going to be out. Good luck, Joe Flacco, because as we know, he is a very, very mobile quarterback, and he's fumbled a million times this year. He has 7 turnovers in the 3 games and 3 snaps or 3 passing attempts, however much he played against the Buffalo Bills earlier this season, the second game when Mike White went down, where he also fumbled. He's been a fumbling machine so far this year. So I don't know how that's going to work, but just some of the quotes that Robert Saleh has said recently is just, I really think he would do better off, and he would be better for him if sometimes he just kept his mouth shut. And this is not me saying that I don't like Robert Saleh. This is not me saying that I think they should fire Robert Saleh. I don't think either of those things are true. I generally like Saleh, and I do think he deserves to come back next year. Again, I don't think that's an outlandish take, but at the same time, if I was just to sit here and say that everything he does is perfect and everything that he is under the Jets do is perfect, then what are we doing? That's just fanboying. I think it's fair to criticize when I think criticism is due. The quote today genuinely made me laugh so hard. This is what Robert Saleh said about Joe Flacco. Saleh says Flacco is like a Ford pickup truck. May not appreciate him in September, October, etc., but you really appreciate him when the weather turns nasty. They're playing the Miami Dolphins this week in Miami. It's going to be 80 degrees on Sunday. What are we talking about here, Robert? What do you mean? That would be one thing if you're playing in Green Bay in the snow. You're playing in sunny Miami. The only F-150 or Ford truck, whatever the hell the quote was, that Joe Flacco resembles is a rear-wheel drive beater truck that has the check engine light on. That's the Ford truck that Joe Flacco reminds me of right now. What is that quote? And then earlier, I think it was this week, I don't know, it's all blended together now. And the hell or high water Zach Wilson comment, the receipts comment from earlier in the year, which I was critical of, the instant coffee with Zach Wilson, the getting up there and misdiagnosing injury timelines a million times. And again, I like his that he's a player's coach. Players respect him. He's well respected around the league. I think he's taken a big step forward this year. Overall, I think he's been pretty good. I don't think he's been bad. I don't think he's been great. I think he's been pretty good. But sometimes he can just say things that are just blatantly ridiculous. What are we talking about here, man? He reminds me of a Ford pickup truck, and you want him when the weather turns nasty, but the game's in sunny Miami. It's going to be sunny and 80 degrees. Come on, Robert. What are we doing here, man? Just sometimes, man, I think he'd just be better off if he kept his mouth shut. Let me know your thoughts on these comments, Robert Saleh, and anything else about this game down below in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Once again, I am Matt O'Leary, and I will talk to you next time.